Okay, my friends, here it is. The first video in over 7 months on this channel. Now, we got a lot of things to talk about because a lot has happened in my life over these 7 months, and I want to tell you about it. So, yeah, I kind of let this channel go a little bit cold, which I'm sorry for on one level, but on another level, it's because I had to do something else that was very, very important to me. And so, as many of you know, I have begun a second channel called Garden Like a Viking. And that has taken my full efforts and full time. And even though the channel was just started in the springtime, it has really taken off tremendously, which is awesome. And so there's over 35,000 subscribers now, and it's been 7 months or about since the last video on this channel, which has just been great. And all kinds of things have been coming from this. Opportunities to do consulting. I flew down to Tennessee and did some consulting there about establishing a garden, a real food producing garden, so that this family of 6 can produce all the food that they need and have enough to give away. So, that's a serious undertaking. And so he brought in the big guns, and we went through and developed a plan. And now I'll be going back in the spring to help see that more to fruition. There's been a whole number of different consulting operations and things like that that have all come from this. And it's just opened up new avenues of things that I did not see coming. You know, I didn't see any of this coming a couple of years ago. So it's just been really great, and I'm going with it, and it's all part of the vision in the mind, you know, of just being happy, healthy, and strong, and helping others, and doing what I love. So all of that is coming to fruition, and all of that is good. So I'm going to kind of reinvent this channel a little bit because it's gone cold. And how am I going to do that? It's going to be more like these kind of videos. I'm going to make on this channel the videos that I like to watch, the kind of videos I like to watch. And those are the kind that have good audio, for one, and have a personality that I can tolerate and relate to in many ways. And also ones that I can just put on and cook, or I can put on and clean the basement, or I can put on and drive. Those kind of videos I like, sort of flow of consciousness, ones that teach you something, or ones that share experience or knowledge, ones that are entertaining, just who knows? You know, so that is what this channel is going to be about. I'm going to be releasing videos every week again, maybe even multiple times a week. Who knows? We'll see how much kind of content there is. But it's going to be stuff like that. And it can cover any wide variety of topics on this channel. See, the other channel, Garden Like a Viking, that's all about gardening, obviously. And we want to stick to just that because I still feel like growing your own food is the most important thing you can be doing right now. And that's why I started the channel. And that's why I have so much passion towards it. But also there's so many other things that we can talk about. And on this channel, more like the master cleanse questions, cold training things, breathing technique things, all of that is still a foundational part of my life. I'm just getting more and more and more into it. And I've been experiencing the benefits for a number of years now. So I've got a lot of experience built up with all of that. Also nutrition. Any of those kind of things, intuitive eating, you know, the life force and water, you know, visioneering, what we used to call what I used to call manifesting until I learned the truth of what it actually is. All those kind of things. It's all fair game on this channel, more spirituality based, all of that. So because I still want to discuss that, you know, and share concepts and ideas with people. And so that's what we're going to be doing. And on the gardening channel, I do a Saturday morning live stream. Every Saturday at 12 noon Eastern time, I do a live stream where I can take people's questions and I kind of just shoot from the hip, you know, with responses and stuff. And I have found that I really like that format actually because it's just unedited and it's just you know, it's spur of the moment. And so I can just let the consciousness flow and the questions come, and then we can cover a lot of different topics, and a huge variety of information can get covered in those kind of videos. And so until we start doing live streams on this channel, I'll say, can you guys please go ahead and put any kind of questions or topics you might want to hear discussed, or my opinion on, or whatever it is. Put them in the comments. Just put the questions in the comments if you have any questions about the master cleanse or any of those topics that we just talked about. So it's all fair game, okay? Because it's all about sharing the knowledge and learning and being in the positive energy, okay? So here we are, and I've written down like 4 or 5 of the most common questions that I've been getting from you guys on this channel, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and answer those. I'm going to pretend like they're being answered right now in like a live stream. And these videos, like I said, they're just going to be unedited for the most part, unless I say something totally outlandish or ludicrous. But pretty much unedited, flow of consciousness, here we go. So the first question I've been getting from you guys is, where have you been? And I think I just answered that for the most part, because if you watched the videos about a year ago, 2 years ago now maybe, I started talking about food shortages and sort of the plan and the reset and all of this kind of stuff. And it gets to a point where, okay, I understand that there's a plan. I understand things are being guided. I understand that some nefarious characters are at work behind the scenes. We understand all of that, okay? I understand the Great Reset plan, and we go so far as transhumanist type things. I mean, I understand all of that, and I see all of this. I see the poisoning of the land. I see all of the arranged food shortages, and the food packaging plants burning down, all of this stuff. I see all of that. But, okay, it gets to a point where it's like, that's all there, it's all happening, but now we must move on. Now we accept, okay, this is the world that we're living in, but now we say, okay, what's next? And what do I do with this? We don't just keep dwelling on this, which is now what I'm seeing all over the place, is that people are that just, okay, they're saying, have you seen the movie The Real Anthony Fauci? It's all coming out. Oh my gosh, and all that stuff. And it's like, yeah, okay, well, there's no sense to dwell on that. We knew that a year ago. I mean, at least we did on this channel and stuff. And so we knew of these things, and we still do in our heart, because we let our heart guide us. The heart always knows. And so we're not going to focus any longer on things like what's coming. You hear it's huge now, like in YouTube videos and prepper channels and all that, and you have no idea what's coming, and it's all this what's coming, and it's all this it's fostering this sense of impending doom, that there's just right around the corner, total collapse, something just god awful is going to happen right around the corner. And okay, that may or may not even be true anymore, but it's the feeling of impending doom. It's all just going to come collapsing down, at any moment. That is tremendously unhealthy. I can tell you that for sure. Okay, that will do more harm to you than many of the physical things in the environment can do harm to you. So if you are living your life in a state of, we won't even call it fear, because most people don't understand that they're even in a state of fear when they're in it. It's only once you're removed that you can really see that. So if you're living your life like that, and you're kind of got this low level background anxiety that is like, I just feel like there's no point in doing anything because it's all just going to come crashing down, and we don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to have a job. All this unknown stuff. And so if you're living your life focusing on those things, the inner experience of the present moment is going to be a deeply negative one, or at least not a thriving positive one. And so if you are kept in a state like that, then they, with the capital T, have won. They're winning. So the only way to really win is to get control of yourself, your thoughts, your feelings, the emotions, your sense of the world. Get control of all of that, okay? Bring it under the reins of your control. And through the practices, all different kinds of practices there are, meditation practices, changing up your diet, doing the master cleanse, cold training, all of these things come in to give you that power to be able to understand that you are the one that is in control of all of this. And that's really the crux of it. That's what they out there want you to believe, is that you are just along for the ride, that you're the victim of whatever's happening out here determines your internal experience. But that's not the reality of it. What is happening in here determines your experience, and then determines the external environment that you experience. That's one of the questions I get from you guys is, Nate, well, just this one question in particular that hit home. This person was like, I can barely tolerate my current living situation. What can I do? I don't want to live another day. It was something like that. And I was like, whoa, I've been there, my friends, big time. And what I would say is that the only thing that matters is the image that you hold in the mind. So it doesn't matter how badly you want to be out of your current situation, or, okay, I just want to, if you're living with somebody, it's just intolerable. You can't stand them and the current situation that you're in. And so if the image in your mind is just, I hate this situation, this person, I used to love them, now I hate them. This is all, impending doom out here and all of this negativity. If that is what you're focusing on, that is what will be created more and more. You will never break free from that, because this is the law. Whatever image, the predominant image that is held in the mind, becomes the external experience, both in the way you experience the reality and in the actual external environment to varying degrees. And so what is most important is that we rearrange and redirect the focus on the image that we want. So instead of seeing my current image and thinking, God, I just want to get out of this situation. How do I change all of this stuff? And my partner won't change, or my kids won't change, or my job sucks and it won't change. None of that matters. Don't focus on that, my friends. Focus instead on the image of a being, you, that is just waiting to be uncovered. That is a healthy, vibrant, positive, sharp, very intelligent and sharp and clear being. Okay? Someone that others respect because that person respects themselves. You have to visualize this image and carry that with you, and let everything else go by the wayside. All the negativity or the impending doom, it will just naturally drop away, because you're using the law of I forget what the exact name of this law, this mental law and stuff, but it doesn't even need a name, because I've experienced this over and over in my life over these past couple of decades, and traveling the world and going through dark hell's realms and then back. And all of this has led me to this direct experiential knowledge that it all has to do with the image that you hold in the mind, my friends. So switch up the internal landscape, and the external landscape will always follow in suit. So that's my rant about that question. Sorry, but passion flows through me about many things. And so I used to not understand how to direct this passion. I used to let the burning inferno within me, I used to let it guide me in a way, instead of me guiding it. Okay, so fire can be a wonderful, beautiful thing, but it can consume the house and burn down everything. Or if it's harnessed properly, it can be used to build and to do things, to life-giving, cooking, and all of these things, warmth, all of this. So learning to harness the fire kept me from continually burning down the house, which is what I was allowing the fire within me to do for a number of years through all kinds of stuff that I'm sure we'll get into at some point on this channel. But once I learned to don't be afraid of the fire, do not fear the inferno within you, just learn how to redirect it. That's all you have to do. And then it will become a positive. Instead of the destructive force in your life, that fire within will become the constructive force in your life. And it will lead you to beautiful situations and to beautiful people, because it's strong. The fire is strong, and it consumes and it gives life, and it's fantastic, my friends. So I guess that answers that question, hopefully. Now, another question. We're going to switch gears big time right now, okay? Because that's what we can do on this channel. A lot of you say, the number one question I get about the Master Cleanse is, can I take medications while I'm on the Master Cleanse? And no, you cannot, okay? Now, my answer, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is just my opinion on the Master Cleanse, okay? Let the record reflect that. And so if it is a medication that is not life giving, or if it's not a medication that is essential to your life, to living, then do not take it during the master cleanse. Okay, if it's blood pressure medication, if it's anxiety, these kind of things can all go by the wayside, my friends. So remember that, I mean, consult your doctor or whatever, legal disclaimer and stuff. But man, so much of the things that we take medications for are caused by toxemia, a buildup of toxins within the body. The body has never evolved to deal with the type and the quantity of toxins that we are exposed to constantly, both physical toxins and infotoxins. Okay, so we have a toxic situation. That's what toxemia is, the buildup of toxins. And that is the root cause of a vast number, in my opinion, almost all of diseases and ailments that we would take medication for. So we're going to do the master cleanse to clean out and clear out the systems of elimination that are within our body. And so we are going to give our body the chance for the first time in a long time, maybe in your whole adult life, where your body will be cleansed of these toxins and it can function at an optimal level. And then you won't need the medication. It's very likely you'll no longer need the medications. I made even though I've been doing the master cleanse 21 years now, I made a video 3 years ago about the master cleanse. Many of you found the channel through that. And so since then, I've been working with a lot of people, okay, both in the comments of the videos, but also I do one-on-one Zoom meetings. So if you would like that, you can hit me up, okay? And so I've come to talk to a lot of people and been a part of their experience. And a vast number of them have said, I haven't need to take the medications again. So I stopped taking them. I cleaned out the body, and then I had no need for the blood pressure medication. I had no need for the thyroid medication. I had no need for the depression medication. Yes, this is a common experience, my friend, because the body has a natural ability to heal itself. There's through many different levels, but briefly, our ancestors way back in the day, they did not have a refrigerator full of food, and they didn't know when food was going to be here next. And so often they would go long time, multiple days without food. And so the body developed a mechanism to deal with this, and not only deal with this, but to clean itself out. And so when the body doesn't have anything in the digestive tract any longer to digest, it will begin to seek out for energy within the body the sick and dying cells first. The cells that it knows, the intelligence of the body knows that it no longer needs. This process is called autophagy and also sort of autolysis. And so by utilizing this mechanism, so when we would go without food for a long time, the body will go into self-cleaning, self-healing mode. And so, because it would say, hey, let's just take this opportunity to clean house so that we can be sharp and so that we can find food is the number one thing. And we're not bogged down with all these sick and dying cells within ourselves and all these toxins that the body doesn't know how to deal with, so it just stores in the fat tissues. We got to get rid of all that stuff, my friends. And then is when you implement the switch up of the lifestyle, of the intuitive eating, of the growing your own food, of the eating only whole foods and as close to their natural state as possible, and to focusing primarily on life force energy of the food. That's primary. It's not fats, proteins, and carbs. That's what food's contained of, yes. And that's the modern sort of, fitness industry. What are your macros? You have to focus on these things. That's not what you have to focus on for abundant, thriving health. Abounding health is what you have to focus on is the life force energy in the food, okay? Because that determines everything else. That determines your experience. Now, so I hope that answers the medication question. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I should be. No, just kidding. So next one. Nate, what is the benefit of the cold training? Okay, I see you getting into the ice bath and stuff like that. So what is the benefit of all of that? Now, the benefits are vast, okay? And number one is what it does to the vascular system. So I'll just briefly explain. The cold training. So most of us will go our entire life, especially in the modern, what I would call the 72 degrees lifestyle, where you have the heat set at like 70 during the winter and the air conditioning set at like 72 during the summer. Okay, so you live in an environment that is a very specific temperature range. Our ancestors never had that capability, and so they would get exposed to extreme fluctuations in temperature. It would get very cold sometimes for them and very hot sometimes for them. And so their body, you see the blood vessels, around each blood vessel, there's small, tiny muscles, and it opens and closes the blood vessels. And so when we go into an ice bath, the blood vessels in the skin, and they close shut because the body wants to keep the blood warm, and so it will shuttle it away from the areas that are receiving the ice cold water, and it will redirect it to the internal organs and the brain, the really important stuff. And the way that it does this is by closing these valves, and so it will slam shut. These little muscles will slam shut the blood vessels, and that is what most people experience as it's so cold. It's this like painful tingling. You know, if you've ever put your hand in ice water, that tingling sensation, that pain almost, that's just the blood vessels. Boom, and they haven't been worked in a long time, maybe even ever for a lot of you. And then when you get out and you either go into like the sauna or you just get out and do it with the mind, the sauna of the mind and the breathing, then they will open back up. And this is exercising those tiny little muscles. And so this is very, very good for the body and the vascular system. If you have cold hands and feet and stuff like that, you can try this practice, the cold training, and it will help dramatically. Okay, we're going to be getting into cold training definitely this winter, more on this channel. So let me know if you have more questions about this kind of stuff, or if you want to see this kind of stuff. Who knows where it's going to go. All right. The cold training, and there's the physical aspect, but it's mostly the mental, man. The mental aspect is beyond compare. What it does for the mind. And you get in, you say, adapt, adapt, adapt. And you give the key word to the mind. And the connections are forged that create an unbelievable strength of will through cold training. I mean, it's fantastic, my friends. Probably the cold training and the breathing techniques, when combined, are the most transformative of all things I've ever done in my life. I mean, I would say meditation and stuff, but my entire life now has become a meditation. Everything is a meditation now. It's just so different. So, okay, my friends, let's see. One more question. I'll keep this first one short-ish, 25 minutes or whatever. But, I'm really only interested in the people that are seeking out knowledge and stuff like that like to listen to long-form videos or whatever it is, that recognize when they're getting quality content, So, for more quality content, check out my other channel, Garden Like a Viking. Or I moved all of the traveling videos to the Saga of Nate Muri channel because I don't know, I'm trying different things, and finally one of them worked, with the gardening channel. So, well, never mind, because I'm not going to edit these videos, so I can't say something stupid. Now, the last question. People are like, Nate, I feel very unprepared. How can I prepare for what is coming? What is coming? The impending doom, the over our head, fear kind of thing. And here it is. While I agree that we are definitely headed for some kind of, things are going to be not like they used to be in the past 10, 20, 30 years, okay? And who knows what is coming? I would say economic hardships for sure for a lot of people. But how can we prepare? So number one, you have created your cushion of food. You've watched the videos that I've made about how to store food for 20 years, and you've got the 5-gallon buckets with the Mylar bags. Okay. You've got a water filtration system, either a Berkey or a homemade filter. Like I'll be making a video soon on the other channel about how to make your own water filter, which is fantastic, which is what I use. You can filter rainwater from it. Now, so you have food and water taken care of, okay? And then maybe something to protect that food and water, if you get what I'm saying. So, but beyond that, all right, so now you have your prep, and you're relatively prepared, and that's enough, okay? We don't have to go. Now we exit. We use that mentality of urgency, that, oh no, that little bit of fear that we feel, we use that as a tool to motivate us to get the food and the water filtration and the protection established. But then after that, we are going to set that tool aside. We're not just going to keep on, after we're done cutting a tree down with an axe, we don't just keep walking around with the axe all the time. Even though that would be cool, we don't do that because we have no need for that tool anymore, and that tool would become a hindrance to the rest of our life. And so in the same way, we must set down that tool of that sort of anxious anxiety, or the little bit of fear, or the motivation that we have to prep. Okay, it served its purpose. Okay, now we set it down. And now we are going to instead focus on building skills, because you can lose stockpiles of stuff. All that can be taken from you easily in the blink of an eye. But skills and knowledge, nobody can take from you. Okay, you will always have the skills. And what is the number one skill that we need to learn? Adaptation. What is the superpower of the human being? I mean, one of them is adaptation. It's the human's ability to adapt, both adapt to the environment and adapt the environment to them. These are both the reasons that humans are able to spread and survive in such a vast range of situations. Now, we tap into that and we say, okay, now I'm relatively prepared, and now I'm focusing on growing my own food. I'm focusing on learning those skills because I watch this channel called Garden Like a Viking, and he has all kinds of good stuff about making our own fertilizers, making our own ways to grow food really cheaply, and also how to preserve the harvest, preserve things till next growing season. All this stuff is very important, okay? And that is what we do. And then we focus on maintaining a high vibrational state of mind. And high vibrational state of mind is one of positivity and is one of generosity. We don't begin getting stingy, and we don't begin trying to hoard things, because that's a scarcity mindset. And that is saying that what is coming is going to be, that's just a scarcity mindset. I won't get into that, okay? But we need to maintain our human qualities, our generosity to one another. This is very important. There will always be enough, my friends. So let us not cultivate the elements and the atmosphere of fear. Let us instead cultivate compassion and generosity. Okay? So, so this has been a very fun talk, and I think that this is where we'll cut it off for now, and we will be back when we have something else to say. So maybe it will be next week. You can put some questions in the comments if you like, some things to talk about, and we can go from there. So, okay, my friends, welcome back. I'm saying that to you and to myself, and we'll see you next time.